So today we are going to see another interesting concept called association, navigation, and deep entity in OData. Yeah. Okay, let's think about this in a different way. Whatever we have learned till now in OData service, what we saw there, mainly we are passing a single URI, and using that we are calling a method. Every URI is simply helping us to trigger the method. Now, what if my client wants that, suppose a requirement is I have my header and item table, and using a single URI, I want to display the data of the both tables. Using a single URL, I want to display the data of the both tables. How will we do that? Huh?
Can we use a join for the two table and we display it?
You can use joins, but
Mhm.
in your exporting parameter, the entity that you have created there, will it respond in the same way? If you recall, what we do, we create the entity and entity set, right?
Mhm.
So if you go and check SEGW again, the things that we have created, let me just show you. Where is the second one? First, second, yeah. Data model, entities, entity set. This is the entity set. It consists of only employee data. How will it return the multiple data here? Or how you can implement the association here? Are you getting my point? This is for single table that we have done the implementation,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Even if
Mhm.
we are implementing the joins, exporting parameter will
Should
give
be
you
the
time.
single, yes,
Yes,
yes.
it is not going to be the same.
Mhm.
So that is one problem here. That's where your deep entity is coming into picture. So before understanding that, the question is, what is association? What is association? And what is composition? Two very powerful technology here, concept basically, association and composition. Anyone, please? Association and composition. So association is nothing. It is a relation which is used to connect two entities in such a manner both can work independently. What does it means? Best example is it's a relationship here. So for example, again the same thing. Suppose we have a plane. This is one entity, and then we have passengers. This is another entity. Yeah, this is another entity. So if plane is not there, passenger can use other vehicles like bike, car, or any other vehicle or bus to travel from one place to another. But for the plane, if passenger is not there, then again no problem. Plane do not need passengers. It just need a pilot which can fly the plane, right? But if they are together, it is better. Plane will help the passenger to fly from one place to another and reach the destination shortly. And if we talk about the plane, if passengers are there, it will be a benefit for the plane, right? So this kind of relationship, it is something which is a good to have relationship. It is a good to have relationship. Good to have relationship. Let's talk about composition. It is a must to have relationship. Must to have relationship. Again, if we want to understand it, here both the entities are are highly dependent on each other. They are highly dependent on each other. For example, again, we can take a similar example here also. A plane and a plane engine. If plane is not there, there is no meaning of this plane engine. We can't use it anywhere. And if plane engine is not there, there is no meaning of this plane. It can't fly. They are highly dependent on each other. It is a must to have relationship. There are two powerful terminology here, association and composition, highly used in object-oriented programming. Here we are going to use association. That's why I explained them. Because sometime it is expected in interview also. So association. Now how we are going to use this association for us? Let's go and check it. Association. So association is used to associate the header and item entity sets. It is used to associate the header and item entity set. And then there is your navigation. Navigation will provide a path to navigate between the header and item so that you can get both the results. Both the results. Yeah. So when you will, if you there is a requirement that using a single URI, there this association and navigation is going to help you. First, you will implement the association. You will provide a navigation path between them so that you can write the logic. And then there is your deep entity. So what is deep entity? Deep entity is nothing but a deep structure. That is a structure within a structure. A structure within a structure. This is your deep entity. You can just go for a complex structure here. Yeah. So
Uh,
let's tell me.
just one question over here.
Uh,
So, what is the navigation? Navigation is one kind of a bridge between this header and
path.
item, which will,
It,
yeah,
it's a path.
which will,
It's a
okay,
path. Always we see header and item are connected via primary key, correct?
yes,
So using that primary key, we will create one path, and when you will pass the URI, because
mhm,
of this path, both the data you will be able to get. Now you can create a 3-layer. Let's say a primary header, secondary, and then we can have a item, and then secondary item. Let's say tertiary item. You can connect all of them,
okay, okay, understand.
and using the same URI, you will be able to perform the get, post, and all kind of operation between all those multiple tables. Getting my point? Yeah. So suppose, let's go and check it. Suppose I have got a table here. Same employee table we have, my custom table. This is the header table here, where employee ID is the primary key. And I have got some results here. Some results here I have got. Then I have my item table. where this is containing the project data of the employees. And here also, if you check, employee ID is the common key between the tables. And this also contains the data up to 105, where we have duplicate records also because multiple primary keys are there, right? So using the single URI, I want to fetch the data from all these tables. Let's see how we are going to achieve this kind of requirement. So as usual, what I will do, I will simply go to SE11. Let's see this. Sorry, not SE11. I'll go to SEGW. I will create one OData project here and let's create it. Yeah. Let's make it fourth, 78 OData. Here our short description, project, package. Now I will create the entities here. So I will first save it and I will go for import data dictionary structure. First, I will use my employee table. So there is my employee table. I will copy and here I'm going to give the name here, suppose employee, my structure. Next, I will select the columns other than MA entity and I will go for next. Mark the primary key, whatever you want, and finish it. There it will generate my entity and entity set for employee ID. Sorry, for employee table. Similarly, we will do the same thing for our item table also. Yeah, item table also. And I will go for it. Data model, import, data dictionary structure, and this I will name it project, my structure. Next, we will select the columns here. I will go for next again. This is my main primary key. So finish. We have created here our two entities, employee and projects, and corresponding entity sets. So let's save it. And I will go for runtime artifact and I will generate it. I will generate it. Yes. So now if we go for our DPC extension class, if you will go inside it, DPC extension, copy. If you go for SE24, open it, change mode, GET. So here what you are going to see, methods, inherited methods. And this time, since you have two entities, you are going to see 10 methods here, 5 for employee and 5 for project. Yeah. So you can implement this get part here, right? Similarly, we used to do. So I will redefine it. And the normal query I'm writing here so that we can test it locally. So I select star from my employee table, employee underscore tab into corresponding fields of table, ET entity set. Yeah, that's a normal implementation for our employee. And same thing I will do for the item also. So right click and redefine. Yeah, right click and redefine. Here also we can give a query, select a star from item, project details into corresponding fields of our table, ET entity set. Activate. Now I can go back to ACGW and I can locally test it. So let's go for service maintenance, gateway client. Sorry, I need to register. So local, and I will pass the package. Let's go to gateway client and I will select it. So here, if we go for execution, looks good. We can select entity, employee set. And if I'm going for this one, question mark dollar format equal to JSON. So it will call the employee set method, entity set, get entity set method for employee, and it will display all those records. Yeah. And if I will select here the another entity set, which is our project. So if I am going for project here, it will call the get entity set of project set method. Same thing you are going to check. So now you will get only these three columns. See, right? It is working. It is working, right? So this is a normal implementation. Now using a single URI, my client want to get the data from both the tables which are interrelated. Suppose this is a kind of requirement here. So that's where your association navigation will come into picture. What you will do, you will have to create a association. Yeah, you will have to create here a association. So if you see, there is your association option in the data model. You will right click and you will go for a create button. So this pop-up will come here and you are going to give the name of this association. So suppose I am giving the name here as employee to project. This is the association name I am giving. Then it will ask for the principal entity, that is the header entity. So my header entity is employee. I will select it. Yeah. So what is the cardinality of employee? One, I will make it. For one employee, we have multiple item data. That is the general definition. And here I will select the dependent one as project. And it can have 0 to n record also. No problem. So this is my principal entity and this is the dependent one, or you can simply call header and item. Now, what is the navigation between them? What is the way to navigate? So you will give the name of a navigation property here. Yeah, you will give the name of a navigation property which you are going to use it. So I will give the name here, suppose employee to project. This is the navigation property, a name I am giving to it. Using this, we will see how we are going to perform the navigation. If you will have another dependent here, you will give the third one, which you are going to use from this one to that one also. That's the way it works. So I will go for next. Now here, my principal entity, the principal key is employee ID. And also the common key between both the tables is employee ID. So here in the dependent also, I will select the employee ID. Yeah, this is the relation between these two tables. I will go for next. Principal entity and dependent entity. Perfect. Finish. So it will generate a association. This is your association name. And here for your employee, you can see that the navigation property will be enabled, employee to project. Yeah. This navigation property that we have given the name here. So let's save it. Let's save it. So which is the method which we are going to implement? It is really important for everyone. Let's see this here. Methods important for deep structure or deep entity. Methods important for deep entity here. So let's check it. We will go to our class. Where is our class? Yeah, this one. And if you see here, just go and check. Let me just expand it. Yeah. So what you can do, you can just go to here, service runtime here, and inside it, you will have all these methods. Lots of methods. You see this. Create a deep entity. First one. Create a deep entity. Then you have get expanded entity and get expanded entity set. Get expanded entities and get expanded entity set. It will be used to create a record, that is one in header, and based on your relation, multiple in items. That is the way. If we talk about this one, it will be used to fetch a single record here. Fetch a single record. How? One record from header and multiple from items. And then there is a get expanded entity set. So it is just a get entity set method, multiple from header and multiple from items. Displaying. Okay. These are some of the important methods which you can implement. Now, here using the single URI, you want to display the data from both these tables. So very first thing that you need is the type of it, the structure for it. Am I correct? Hmm? The first thing that we need is the type of it. Yes or no? Right? So I will go for this get expanded entity set method and I will go for redefine. There is your method. And check the exporting parameter. ER entity set. What is the type here? Can you see this? What is the type here? Type ref to data here. It has not given any type. That type which you will define at the runtime, it is going to be used. So, which is the class name in which we define the custom structures? How many of you recall that? Which is the class name? Which is the class name, guys, in which we define the custom structure? Array MPC extension class. That's what we have seen now. When we learned these classes, I told you all that here we are going to define the custom structure. Can you hear me?
Samrit, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please be responsive. Otherwise, it feels like I'm teaching myself. Okay. So the same thing we are going to do here also. I will go to AC24 and we will check the MPC extension class. Here just need to pass MPC. MPC. I will open it in change mode. Yeah. And I will go for its source code area. Here. Yeah. Source code area where we can define our structure. So I am here in the public section. I will define my structure here. But how do we define? We use types keyword. So I will use the same. Begin of my TY, let's say deep entity, TY deep entity. This will have all the columns from my employee table. So I will go and bring it. These are the columns. I'll bring this one. Yeah. Type. Type. Oh, okay, no problem. Employee name, department, type, department, manager, type, manager, salary, type, salary, and the last one, currency, type, currency. These are the header columns. So, currency. Pretty printer. These are the header columns. Now from header, we want to navigate to item. We want to navigate to item, right? So what was the navigation name that we have given? What is the navigation name here? This, right? The
The key.
same navigation name you are going to use for the item here, which is employee to project. Please make sure it should be same. Otherwise, it will not fetch the data. Yeah. This will be our structure type table of item. So we have already created a item entity here, which is our project. So I can go and check this type in MPC extension itself. I'll save it this one, form base, and you can check this type here. Let me show you. Yeah, sorry. Let me just show you. And TYD entity, save. Implementation is incomplete. Why? 50 printer. So there is some problem. See, and TY deep entity. Yeah, looks good. Let me check the syntax. It is showing problem here. By mistake, we have removed something. G class MPC extension. There is no need for its implementation. Class. So one. Oh, here and class is missing. And class. Class. Now it should be okay. Okay, no problem. Public. All this protected and private are also missing. So protected, private. Yeah. Activate it. So we can go and simply check the type of it directly in this MPC class. You will go to the type section and here you will scroll below and you will see here your TS project is there. This is the structure of your item. When you created the entity type from SEGW, in the runtime in the MPC, it has been generated here. You can see this TS employee, TT employee, and then there is your TS project. So this is the type structure. I'm going to use it there. So I'll go back and I will again go for source code. And here I'm going to use it. So the same thing. So employee to project. This will be an internal table. So type table of, because this is my item, right? For each header, it is going to have multiple records. So it will be a type table of your structure and with default key. Item. This is deep structure. With inside a structure, you have created a table type here now. What it will do, it will store, it can store multiple records now. When you will create a data objects for it, it will store multiple record. Right, Hunter?
Yes, Amrit. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is your deep structure. If there is your tertiary item there, here we have only two tables. Suppose you have three tables. So there now you could do, you will create one more structure here where your this project will become the header and that one will become the item. And then you can also add it as a row, as a column here. That's the way to implement the deep things.
Can
So
you please
this
repeat
is
once again this question? Can you please repeat once again for the three
uh,
table?
yes. So suppose inside this project we have got, if we check, you see three columns are there, right? So suppose there is one more, what should we give?
More
Other
table, yeah.
than what table?
One more table is there. One more
Yeah,
source
I'm just
table.
thinking about one scenario. So what could be the table name after project? Let's say client details, okay, based on the employee ID. So for that, what we can do, there will be another structure here, types, begin of, let's make it deep only, UI deep. It will consist of all these columns. So employee ID, this will become as a header for it. Employee ID, project ID, type project ID, and project name, type data element. And then there we will have our, let's say, project to client. I'm just giving one name here. Type table of some, let's say, TS client, right? With default key we can give, and TY deep. And then this deep we can use it here as another column. So here you can give the connection name. So this will,
Project to
suppose
client.
we have given it is from employee to project.
Project to client.
Yes. So that part you can see. I will share one video for it. Okay. I have one
Okay,
video
sure.
created. You can go through and check it.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, great. That's what I said. OData is a complete different domain. If you will invest your time, it will take more than 6 months to even understand a basic flow of it. Lots of things are available here. If you check here, so many methods, right? So many methods are there. Every method has its own use case. Based on the requirement, we will have to do the debugging and then we will have to find out which one is getting triggered. But
Yes.
if you are okay with this CRUD operation, if you are okay with these deep things, then you can tackle any sort of situation. All right.
Yes.
So here is our structure ready. Now we can directly go to our get part, get expanded entity set, and we can implement it here. So what we can do, we will create an internal table and work area for the structure that we created. So declaration, This declaration will have data keyword. So LT deep entity type table of this class name. This is my class MPC extension. And inside this class, we have defined this property TY deep entity. So TY deep entity. Similarly, we will create our work area also. So LS deep, like line of LT deep. Yeah. I will create the internal table and work area for my tables also. So LT employee type table of my table name, this one employee table and work area. So LS employee type or like line of, we can go for like line of LT employee, LT project also. So type table of our item table name here. Yeah. And then we can go for LS project, like line of LT project. Yeah. Same thing. So we are going to implement the stuff. Now, if you check here the signature of this method, you will find out that there is one parameter called entity set name. Entity set name. There is one parameter. So when you will call this expanded entity set method, there you are required to pass the primary entity set. And what is our primary entity set in our case? Employee is the primary one. Project is the secondary one, right? So if we go there in our ACGW, if you check this entity set name, this is my primary entity set, employee set. I will copy its name. I will come here and I will check this parameter. So I will implement a case on that case, my IV entity set name. We can simply check the case here and based on that we can implement it. So when the value of the case is employee set, when the value of the case is employee set, we can simply go for it, right? If it is, we are calling this one, I will first bring the data from my employee table, then I will bring the data from my project table. I will simply store it into this and I will return it, right? Right, Kunta? This is what we are going to do.
Yes, yes.
So I will go for select here star from my employee table into table LT employee. Yeah. If size of RC equal to 0, we can go for all entries and bring the item data also. So select star from project into table LT project and our as usual for all entries in LT employee. Employee is our header, so LT employee, where our employee ID is equal to LT employee ID. Our header and item things. Once they are done, we can go for a loop here. We can go for loop. So let's remove this signature for a better view. And here we have the record in this one and in our LT project. Is saying there is an error. There is an error. Oh, ZAR project details. Incorrect nesting. This if is ending here and case. This one is extra. Okay. Now I will simply loop on it. So loop add LT employee into work area, LS employee, and loop. And this is our deep structure, right? Deep structure has all these employee columns. So what we can do, we can simply do the move corresponding. So move corresponding from our LS employee to our deep work area of deep, right? Then we need to bring the item data also. So we will go for the item one, loop at LT employee, LT project into our LS project. We can give a condition here with employee ID, sorry, with key. Wait a second, where employee ID equal to LS employee ID. Only this part we need to fetch, right? For this corresponding one, and loop. Yeah. So this is my project part. Where we need to pass this project one? We need to pass it inside this, right? Correct? Am I correct? We need to pass it here,
Yes.
inside this one.
Yes.
So we need to pass here, but it is a table type. We cannot directly do the move corresponding from one work area to another one. So I will create one more work area here for that data. Let's make it LS project entity type. That is there inside my MPC extension itself. So MPC extension PS project. Same thing. Now we will do the move corresponding here. Move corresponding from LS project to LS project entity. Yeah. And once we have the data in our work area, we can simply do the append inside this column. So append here, append LS project entity to our LS deep and its column employee to project. So employee to LS deep employee to project. Append. Yeah. This is the inner loop, correct? It will transfer the data into that internal table of our deep. And once we have data final, we can come out of this inner loop and we can finally append LS deep to LT deep. Clear the work area. Everyone, are you able to get it? Yes or no? If you are not able to get it, please ask the question.
Yes, Amit, I'm clear for it.
Here, two entities are there, header and item. For header, I am transferring it to the work area of deep. These are the columns. But this one is an internal table. So we can directly transfer it. So I am looping. I have created one more work area for it, which is of the same entity that we have created from SEGW for project. All the data one by one is getting transferred into the work area. And then that work area I am implementing into the column of this deep. I'm appending it. Once all this data will be appended, we will come out of the loop. We will append the LS deep to LT deep, and then we are clearing it. Finally, we will have the data into this internal table, which is our LT deep here, which is our exporting parameter here. This is my exporting parameter ER entity set, right? Exporting parameter is this one, ER entity set. So we need to now transfer data into that one. How we will do that? The easiest way you can do it here, there is one called conversion runtime folder. And if you check this folder here, there is one option called, there is one method here you can check, copy data to reference. This one is simply used, whatever type of your internal table is going to be there, it doesn't matter. You can just use this method. It will simply copy the reference of that and it will store it into this ER entity set. It doesn't matter whatever type it is. So I will do the same here. After once the loop is finished, I will call it me copy data to ref. This is the method here, copy data to ref. I'm calling it. There is your exporting parameter. So I will export my LTD here. And I will receive the reference into this exporting parameter ER entity set. Me refers to the current object inside the object-oriented ABAP. So I'm just using the same property. So I'm using the same thing. It will store the data into this ER entity set. I know it is a little bit complex and not very easier to understand at the first view directly. But if you are able to understand the implementation, definitely you can go through it. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Here, what it is, converting any type of internal table into a reference type of data. That's the case. And it is over. Now you can test it from gateway. You can simply test it from gateway. So once it is done, you will come here. My employee set is my primary one. So we can use that entity set because that is what it is expecting here. Because on the same thing we have implemented for employee set here. So I'm using it. Now after we will go for dollar question mark. And very interesting thing here, expand keyword is used. Expand equal to your navigation name. What is the navigation you have given? This is the navigation. Where is the navigation? This is the navigation property, right? Copy and pass it. This URI will be used to call your expanded entity set. I'm just pasting it here for your use case. So your entity set name, if you will simply use entity set, it will call the get entity set method of your employee. But now here we are using expand. So it will directly go for get expanded entity set. So what I will do, I will just put here one debugger external and let's check it. Execute. It is saying not found. Why? Expand. There is some problem. Let me check. Employee set question